As we all know, Food Battle, the Smosh series about Ian and Anthony competing to see whose favorite food is the best, ended in late 2016. It's been a few years now, and it seems Smosh has kept their word that Food Battle was really done. But now that Food Battle is certainly over, only one question remains. Who won? The intent of Food Battle was to see whose food was the best. So was it Ian's pink frosted sprinkled donuts? Or was it Anthony's taquito, celery, churro, burrito, red hot chili pepper, rainbow lollipop, egg roll, giant gummy snake, rock candy, chocolate coated banana, and vegan pink frosted sprinkled donut? Let's find out! So why don't you join me as I go through all 11 annual food battles from 2006 to 2016 to see whose favorite food could really do more everyday tasks. Before we begin, we should go over how I'm going to be counting points for this. From watching the series, the rules I could glean are that Ian and Anthony take turns picking an item from a catalog. If their favorite food can be that thing, they get a point. If their food fails, they don't get a point. But you don't win Food Battle that year if you just get the most points. The way it always ends is that either Ian or Anthony will die, then the remaining person will get stopped by the announcer and be declared the winner.
You just won Food Battle 2006. What are you gonna do now?
For the purpose of this video, I will be focusing on how many points either of them gets, in addition to how many victories, as in who survives till the end of each year, each of them gets. Every X is 0 points, every check is 1 point, and every victory is 5 points, which I'll try my best to keep track of on this chart here. Oh, and by the way, any deleted segments or bloopers won't be counted as far as this retrospective goes. Last thing before we begin. There are times when Ian or Anthony will either fail the task and win the match anyway, or try to pass their efforts off as a success and still lose. It seems to me that the only way to tell if it was a success or not is by the check or X appearing.
It worked!
We can't really afford to be picky about which matches count or not here, so we're just gonna have to trust that every match is accurately scored. As for the discrepancies in the victories, well, we'll talk about those when we get to them. Okay, enough rules. It's time to go where many people have already gone before, 2006. It feels so odd going back to Food Battle 2006 because this was before it was a popular series. Anthony still had his emo hair and Ian still had his bowl cut. Speaking of whom, Ian wins the first point of the entire series here with his donut socks. Then immediately after, Anthony wins the very second point of the series with his taquito telescope. So it begins. By the end of FBO 6, Anthony drowns in the pool and Ian wins, with a final score of 10 for Ian and 4 for Anthony. Don't worry though, it only gets more complicated from here. Food Battle 2007 is the first food battle to establish the running gag of Ian or Anthony coming back from the dead just to challenge the other guy to a rematch, with Anthony coming out of Ian's pool. They have a rematch and then Ian dies from a car crash in what is still one of the funniest moments in the series.
I'm fine. Wait, is it normal to have a faint and irregular pulse? And is it normal to be vomiting blood? Okay, this is totally trippy. Now I don't have like any pulse at all. Oh man, this is awesome.
And so Anthony wins. With Ian getting only 2 points this year and Anthony getting 8 points, the score is currently tied up with both of them having a total of 12 as of FBO 7. You know, I really gotta commend Smosh for really upping the quality of Food Battle every year. This one is in like 360p. FBO 8 starts with a dramatic plot twist that Ian got a haircut, and also like came back from the dead or something. Also, remember how I said we can't afford to be picky about what counts as a point? Well, that applies to this part where Ian and Anthony's foods have to be delicious smoothies, and Ian pretends to like his gross, very not delicious smoothie, but gets the point anyway. In fact, one could argue that Ian is a notorious cheater in Food Battle, and doesn't deserve a lot of the points he gets, but this was still counted as a win, so it's a point regardless. FBO 8 was actually really close, with both Ian and Anthony getting 3 points each until Anthony died after getting impaled by his own churro, which begs the question, did he deserve a point there? The goal was
a weapon that can be thrown from 30 feet away to kill somebody!
But I guess he didn't exactly throw it at himself from really far away, plus he throws it again at the announcer guy, but he lives. Also, no checkmark appears, so yeah. no point for Anthony. Ian wins FBO8 with 8 points, while Anthony only got 3. Now on to my personal favorite food battle, FBO9. The skits here are some of the funniest in the entire series, and if you're not interested in food battle or Smosh, I highly recommend you at least check out FBO9. With Anthony coming back from the dead, it's rematch time. Throughout FBO9, it really seemed like Anthony was going to take this one home, getting a total of 4 points until the end when Ian poisons him with cyanide.
Haha! I put cyanide in your burrito, sucker!
That's gonna kill me, idiot!
It doesn't matter, you're a zombie, you can't die.
I'm not a freaking zombie!
Oh yeah.
So Anthony dies and Ian wins Food Battle 2009. The current score is 26 for Ian and 19 for Anthony. Will Anthony pull through? Well... This was the latest food battle when I first started watching the series all those years ago. FB 2010 starts with a callback to FB06. And Anthony came back from the dead. Shocker. Also, I just thought I'd mention this part, where their foods are supposed to be bulletproof vests, and Anthony gets a point here, but then we see that the pepper didn't stop the bullet, but he still wins the match? Regardless, it counts. Also, Ian looks like he's shot dead in this scene, but don't worry, he's okay. Just like in FBO8, Ian and Anthony both get 3 points, but once again, Ian murders Anthony and so he wins Food Battle 2000.
No!
Scratch that. Anthony wins Food Battle 2010, which very nearly closes the gap. In fact, Anthony's surprise win here completely nullifies Ian's win in FBO8, and Anthony now lags behind Ian by only 2 points. I hope you're prepared because Food Battle 2011 is when the series gets weird. This is the point when they start to get really experimental with the rules, what constitutes a win, and... well, we'll get to it when we get to it. For now, Ian is alive and it's time for another rematch. By the way, just thought I'd note that in FBO7, Ian crashed his car in his neighborhood and died, but here he crashes his car into the Grand Canyon and lives. Food battle is beyond comprehension, reason, and the laws of physics. The last match this time around is a duel, after which Ian reveals that he poisoned Anthony's lollipop in an attempt to murder him again and win Food Battle. But then Anthony reveals that the lollipop was fake and Ian ended up poisoning his own donut. Then Anthony shoots him with a bow and arrow, which ends up killing Ian and the announcer guy too. But before the announcer guy can announce that Anthony has won Food Battle, he passes away. And since Anthony's victory wasn't properly announced, that means that this year, no one won Food Battle. Since, according to Ian, to win Food Battle, the announcer has to announce to you that you've won, and as a result, the score is tied up once again, with both Ian and Anthony having a current score of 31 points each. Food Battle 2012 begins with Ian coming back from the dead, etc, etc, etc. Wow! It's business as usual, but also the announcer guy came back to life, and Ian perfectly summarizes the bizarre logic of this series.
Well, no duh, idiot! Nothing makes sense in Food Battle!
And then, we get to the biggest, most confusing moment of the whole series, where it's revealed that Anthony switched bodies with Ian, which means Ian's brain is in Anthony's body and Anthony's brain is in Ian's body. And this is a problem because now we don't know who won this year. Okay, so Ian in Anthony's body dies, which means Anthony in Ian's body wins. But if Ian is Anthony and Anthony is Ian, then when? Does this count as Anthony winning? It's Ian's body, though. Well, it's like they always say, when in doubt, just listen to the announcer guy. When he walks up to Anthony, he says,
Ian! Or Anthony! I don't know, that whole thing was really confusing.
He doesn't seem to really know who won, and so he addresses them both. So does this mean that they both won? Not even the end credits seems to know who won either.
Thanks for subscribing. But seriously though, who won? Was it, it was Ian's body, but Anthony's, I don't know. All this thinking's making me tired. I'm going to bed. Oh my god, my butt cheek!
Not to mention both Ian and Anthony reaffirmed just how unclear the winner of FB 2012 was at the beginning of FB 2013.
Wait, why do you want a rematch? You won last year.
No, you won. Well, I mean, your head is in my body.
Damn it! Last year's food battle was way too confusing.
Dude, I know.
It is without a doubt the least straightforward victory of the entire series. So, just to be safe, we'll say that both of them won this year. Since that is Ian's body and Anthony's brain, so technically pieces of Ian and Anthony won, but also died? Regardless, Ian has a 2-point lead. This one is unique in that there is no "I came back to life" gag at the beginning. You know, because last year Ian died in Anthony's body and Anthony was in Ian's body and... well, they're back to normal somehow anyways. FB 2013 ends with Ian getting fake impaled by a sword, and then Anthony getting real impaled by a sword, and Ian wins food battle again. The current score is Ian with 46 and Anthony with 41. So far, it's really freaking close, and Ian's victory here is all that's keeping him ahead of Anthony. The turnouts for food battle actually have quite the duality. Ian and Anthony are constantly neck and neck because while Anthony is getting the most points, Ian is getting the most victories. I'm genuinely curious to see how this will end. FB 2014 begins by introducing a huge, complicated idea to the series. I'm of course talking about the fact that Anthony got a haircut and came back from the dead. You know the drill at this point. It ends with Ian poisoning Anthony again, and so Ian wins food battle 20. Oh. Ian died too.
I guess I win food battle this year.
Yeah, I'd say that counts. So Food Battle 25th... oh, my mistake. Food Battle X begins with... well, it's the 10th annual Food Battle, so obviously this is a very special occasion. Anyway, Ian slips on the waxed floors, dies, and Anthony wins, and the score is all tied up once again, with Ian and Anthony both having 52 points, making this the third tie in the series, which also means that Food Battle 2016 will serve as the ultimate tiebreaker. So here we are. We've reached the end. Food Battle had a good run, but it's time to find out who won, once and for all. Ian and Anthony are both here. They both have new haircuts, they both have 52 points, time to end this. Ian and Anthony both get a point in the first round. Ian wins a point in the second round, putting him in the lead by 1 point, and then Ian gets another point in round 5, putting him ahead by 2 points. But then it's by this point that Ian and Anthony sit down and seriously talk about ending Food Battle. At first it was just this dumb thing they did as teenagers that evolved into this dumb thing they have to do as adults. It's always been a childish thing to argue about whose food is better, and for Ian and Anthony, growing up means leaving behind childish things. It means leaving behind Food Battle. Ian and Anthony realize that they don't want to do Food Battle anymore. They want to grow up.
Do you really want to end Food Battle? Forever?
Yeah, I think so. What do you say we toss these donuts and move on to newer things?
Yeah, like Food War 2017.
No.
Sorry. Well, what do you say we get out of here, sport?
All right, champ. Let's do it.
Goodbye, donut.
Goodbye, Food Battle.
There was no Food Battle 2017, 2018, etc. after this. Food Battle really was done, and since neither Ian nor Anthony died this year, technically no one won Food Battle 2016, so no victory bonus this year. Which means Ian is the winner! Final score, Ian, 55 points. Anthony, 53 points. And the announcer got 5 points. Oh, just a crushing defeat for Anthony. This is the real reason he left Smosh. Ian, you've just proved that pink frosted sprinkle donuts are the best food in the world. What are you going to do now?
I'm gonna go watch paint dry!
Oh boy, watching paint dry. Can I come?
Alright, King. Have you decided what you want for your last meal?
Yeah. Can I get a Big Mac?
What? The King wants McDonald's.
I love you, you love me, we're a